All right, welcome to Alburdunn After Dark, Episode 2. I'm your host, Sylas, joined here by Jackson of TSW today.
Hello, Jackson from TSW here. Pleb enthusiast, card gamer.
True.
Enjoyer even.
Enjoyer. Maybe that's a better word for it.
Yeah. So what do we want to start with? We have three really interesting topics today. Two of them I'm more particularly fond of than the other, but
I think we can start with where we started with.
it's a perfect segue. Yeah. So, where we started in Alra, and by this we mean what deck did we start playing the game with, and then we're going to elaborate later some other follow-up points.
I think we could even start about how we got into the game.
How we got in the game, you know what? It's perfect timing as well, because Breakout is Gen Con or Breakout Con?
Breakout Con.
So Breakout Con of 2023, 2024 is when I started the game.
It would have been 2024.
Yeah, 2024. I met Taylor and Paul at a booth, and I got into the game, and it was like crack. At the time, I was...
Still is.
It still is like crack. I'm still hooked. I played other card games competitively at the time, like between Shadowverse, Magic, did a little bit of Flesh and Blood, and I almost sold out everything instantly, because at the time, this is pre-Modern Horizons 3 when it was being spoiled. I just thought it was going to be a basket case. So I was like, I'm jumping boat before it started going down, and believe it or not, it's still going downhill.
You weren't wrong.
So no, I played Mortis as my first deck, and like it just doing this dredge style gameplay, or like in Shadowverse, like kind of like a
player.
Well, you know what's funny? I was never really like a big. I was always like an Aristocrats guy, and until like decks like Ethereals or Malady came to like my attention, like it was the closest thing to Aristocrats I could find, and I was just milling and shilling. I just loved putting things in my graveyard and putting them back and doing it like 10 times over my first turn.
You've seen some success with Mortis. You came second, I believe, at a Siege series with him.
Yeah, second. Nothing to laugh at, but like
second's respectable. As somebody known for getting second at a tournament, second sucks. I lied. Second sucks ass.
Second does suck. I mean, but it was a good tournament. It was a pleasure to play against my friend Wes, who was here last time, who was also playing Mortis at the time, very same tournament.
So Wes's first deck was actually also Mortis, and he also started at Breakout Con.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. Maybe Breakout Con's the place to start, and like so far 2 for 2 competitive players start at Breakout Con. So maybe if you want to be competitive the card game, start at Breakout Con.
Yeah, Breakout Con's a good place to be. LRL will actually be back there this coming March. 2026, and we're going to be showing off and demoing our new board game there.
Oh, what's the name of the new board game?
It's called Decimaya.
Decimaya. What is it about? The main big bad in Legion's Realms of War, Decimaya?
Well, I can't say too much, but she has something to do with the game at least.
That's good to hear. But anyways, speaking of hearing things, tell me about what deck you started with, Silas.
So, going way back, actually, I used to be a very competitive Magic player. I played a lot at Just By Chance Games in Kitchener, which no longer exists, but one of the premier competitive Magic spots way back when. And then the Magic set Throne of Eldraine, I think, the first Eldraine set.
That's hilarious. I started near Eldraine. I was on.
Eldraine. I saw Oko, and I saw it's a 1 and a green. Reveal the top 5.
Yeah, the one that you cast at the start of the game.
Yeah, I can't remember that. Once Upon a Time, I think?
It is Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, I saw those 2 cards and I'm like, well, this game's dead. I quit. And sold all my Magic.
And that's crazy. Both cards notably broke formats. So.
Yep. And I don't know if you saw they're printing another dumbass Oko.
Nope, they print like 2 other Okos.
No, but like in the Lorwyn set, there's an Oko Planeswalker that's busted.
Don't buy Magic. Buy Legion's Realms at War. Buy the most recent sets, Wintertide Wonder or Masquerade at the Macabre.
Yep.
Way cooler and, in my opinion, more thematic.
Much more, I think. A lot of cool stuff in there. So after that I quit Magic, I kind of was not playing card games for a little while. A good couple of years, actually. And then I happened to be at Atlas Collectibles one day. I was picking up some stuff for my weekly D&D game at the time. And I was there with my lovely girlfriend. And I asked the clerk, like, hey, I'm kind of interested in trying a new card game out. I used to play Magic a long time ago. I don't want to play Magic again. I don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. What's around? And he showed me a couple. And my girlfriend pointed out the Anoscalus Michael structure deck or battle deck.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You should get that one," and so I got that one.
And look at that! Now you're still here.
Yeah.
All right.
So I actually played Michael for my first game ever against her on an Osculus.
Wow.
So I guess technically Michael is the first deck I ever played.
Michelle.
However, the next day I went back to the store and I bought every other battle deck. And I've been playing a lot of stuff since then. My first deck I ever played at a local tournament was Quartzheart, actually, playing Blast Forge aggro. Did not do well.
I mean, it's a harder deck to pick up for sure off the rip, I would imagine. And also, like,
this was also back when Empires had just come out, so there's a lot of new stuff going on.
And not a lot of, like, I guess RVL kicking around, right?
Yeah. So I got what I needed from RVL, but for the longest time I actually didn't have a Kindle host, so I was playing
with Franz.
Yeah, I was playing functionally a pleb version of Quartzheart Blast Forge aggro into like fully competitive built decks.
And you know what's funny? Now that you mentioned a pleb Blast Forge deck, we're going to be having one coming soon with the Fearless Forge. And not shout out to episode 1 again. With the Fearless Forge talked about, but
and so after that, Taylor, LeBron Realms himself, he actually. So I was actually there with 2 of my good friends, Ben and Kyle, who unfortunately don't play anymore.
Yeah.
He gave each of us a booster pack of every
set.
And so none of us got anything out of our Frontiers. I got, I think, Kakabel out of my Battle Harvest.
That's pretty good.
But I also pulled Vox Talks out of the very first Empires pack I opened.
So this guy started playing Duxfox.
So I started playing Duxfox. And then in my first competitive tournament, Siege Series, I think 5 or 6 in Kingston, way back in November 2023 now.
Status, man. Holy.
I played Duxfox at that tournament, and due to some skill, admittedly also a lot of luck, I came top 8 at that tournament with Duxfox. And to this day, nobody has done that.
The only time Duxfox has seen a top 8. Only until recently. I think it will be a big change. I think at a pleb level and a constructed level, Duxfox will see some success with its new lev support.
Yeah, he got a lot of cool stuff in...
He's oozing and cruising now, right? Like, I like it. But no, I would never have actually guessed Michael. And honestly, that's unfortunate because I've been told by consensus that very battle deck might have been the worst one to start on. Yeah. But also, weirdly enough, they're 2 of the most competitive decks, though, too, and the contrary. One fully built.
Yeah, like, the Demon and Angel battle decks are not great out of the box.
But you know what? They definitely have some of the better OG battle deck art, I would say.
I would agree. I mean, like, there's also still battle deck cards that are still used a lot. Like, for example, for Demons, the one that comes to mind is Mammon.
Yeah, like Mammon's like a guaranteed what's the hand rip one? Your Thoughtseize. The Deeper We've Fallen.
Oh, yeah. The card's actually limited right now to 1.
Yeah, for good reason.
Typically not hard cast that much.
No, you don't ever rip it, but like, you draw cards with it.
Yeah, it turns out discarding cards to draw card good.
And a lot of them, like, outside of the Frontiers reprints, like, honestly, a lot of the time I wish I could use the OG art, even though some of them are, like, a lot of them do have, like, mechanical differences.
Yeah.
Like, the OG Ascension looks way better than the Frontiers one, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's, like, I'm not a fan of the original battle deck arts for the most part. I think some of them definitely hit, and I think Ascension is definitely one of them.
Or like the 5 attack, like what's its name? Like it has like a bunch of the angels on it. I can't remember its name, but the original 5 attack Servamore I think looks better than Rochelle, in my opinion.
I also think the 5 attack Grim Warrior is
Necrosis.
Yeah,
that was sick. Gnarly.
Yeah.
Or like honestly, like a lot of there's I think it's the demon Hellplanes one.
Oh, Astaroth.
Astaroth. Yeah. He's gnarly. One day he'll see play.
Soon. Probably not.
No, they're gonna make like a card like there's Creus in EOR.
Creus is a Creed Guardian.
Nah, whatever what's the 3 attack Arion dude?
Oh,
you know what I mean? The guy that gets wisdom when you summon him from deck.
Coas.
Yeah, they're gonna make someone for Astor like that.
Probably not.
Nah,
unfortunately,
not.
Like a lot of the vanilla high attack warriors, like just even in Demons for an example. Astros is a Hellplanes warrior. He was a stand-in for a big Mount Bane warrior when Mount Bane was kind of first being tested.
Sure.
But now in Mount Bane, we have Fallout, which takes the place of a big Mount Bane warrior. But
unfortunately, he doesn't hold a candle to follow.
Yeah, no,
even though he has
like,
one more attack than him.
2 more.
Sorry, 2 more attack than him.
Yeah, but Fallout, even at 2 less attack, having 3 keywords that are very relevant is really good.
Unfortunate to say.
And in Hellplanes even, like Beatrice.
Beatrice is... No, don't
is
remind me of Beatrice.
So good.
I've
been playing her in Mount Bane, actually, just as a big body that says draw a card and blow up a card on it.
I'm not excited to have
so
another,
good.
like, somewhat a parallel adjacent to Hyacinth. But that's a different conversation for a different time.
She's not quite the same.
Not quite the same?
Especially because her keyword, excuse me,
requires her to die.
Purgatory,
yeah.
It's only if she dies by card effect.
Interesting. So, like, battle, she's fine. Yeah, you know what? Okay, it's a bit more fair than I thought. I can't remember last time I looked at the card, but it's also a future drop, so it's not like...
Yeah, it's a future drop coming from...
Bloodlines?
Bloodlines, actually.
I'm so excited for Bloodlines.
Yeah,
I saw you guys talked about it in the first episode. I want Bloodlines so bad.
We can talk about the timeline again. Do you talk about it quickly?
No, because you know what? I want to encourage the people listening, before we go on too much of a tangent, to comment your very first deck that you played. And then I also want you to tell me if you're still playing that deck, and also where you think it kind of is posed in the meta game right now. Because I would also be very interested to see if people have a different opinion from Snapshot Thomas. Is it Snapshot Thomas or Thomas at Snapshot?
Thomas at Snapshot, I think we've been calling him.
Yeah, Thomas at Snapshot. I mean,
great guy.
Great guy.
His
does the
tier list is...
It has some room to work with, I think. But you know what?
It's a tier list.
Like 90% agree with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, because I was going to move on to that point as well. While the viewers are going to be answering this in the comment sections, where do you think your first deck, Michael, recently won a siege recently?
I think, so Michael did just get a slight hit.
With Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance going down to 1 instead of 3. However, I don't think Michael needs Reconnaissance to be good. Because he has 4 Wisdom Warriors at base. If he really wants to, he can play Protoss, the Chaos Divine Warrior.
I was thinking like the OG Seraphim one, because then you get the synergy with your Seraphim.
Yeah, exactly. Michael has a lot of options for card draw warriors.
It's a ridiculous amount. Every warrior basically draws a card.
Well, yeah, that's what Reconnaissance does.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's drawing 2 cards per warrior?
Yeah, and even then, Michael's a deck that wants to go pretty long in games.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he's a control deck. Longer games means I get to value you more. Michael's Veil still says, I'm going to find Reconnaissance turn 3.
Exactly. So if you haven't seen it, or you find like a tether and a help.
Exactly.
You also got I think it's Retaliation, right, from the Revolution cycle?
Yeah, Retaliation. That
lets him also just draw 2 cards. Like
it's so good. I honestly think it might be the best one.
It's up there. I mean, there's definitely a lot of them like that enable really strong play lines, like the Dwarf one or the Orc one. I wouldn't say necessarily a strong play. Yeah, the Dux Fox specifically. A lot of Legions will, or like Gaia's is pretty good too. You can't like.
Okay, Gaia's is pretty good.
Yeah, like they're probably on par, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Michael's been doing really well, and then I guess Duxbox, we don't know yet until someone plays at a siege or at a campaign, which there is one coming up. Well, I guess it's not a sanctioned event, but we're having the Alehouse Anarchy on the 31st.
So it's a actually community-run tournament by our good friend Wes.
Yeah.
He's hosting that tournament. It's going to be at Counterpoint Brewery. Even if you're not playing, feel free to come hang out.
Yeah.
This might also go live after the tournament happens. So, sorry, the tournament is on January 31st, 2026. If this comes out after, sorry.
Yeah, we'll tell you about the coverage on the next 12th? Episode. Yeah, it's the 12th right now. So if we somehow don't get this out in like 2 to 3 weeks, we will tell you about the tournament in the next episode. But for the meantime...
Or the one after.
A little bit after. Well, whatever.
We'll definitely be talking about the results of that tournament, how people did. Tournament spots as of the 12th are actually filled now, which is exciting.
As a person who is going to be helping and do some video coverage, I'm excited to see that there's a full house.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last time we've sold out of a tournament. I think
it's been
a couple sieges. I know there was one in Northern War Table, and I think we sold out.
No, we almost sold out.
Almost.
We didn't.
I guess this isn't a siege or a campaign, but there's also a smaller venue.
Yeah,
but even then, 14 people excited to play Pleb.
Yeah,
that is more
exciting.
than
and it's 14 fairly new players too.
Oh yeah, like I think only I would say 2 to 3 of them are like I would say experienced players. The rest of them are like fairly newer to the game.
Yeah. So what do you think deck-wise? We have 14 spots. What 14 decks do you think are going to show up?
So it's a little hard because I've already know a lot of what the decks are playing just from like mingling and conversing with people. So maybe I should ask you that question because I think it'd be a bit more of an entertaining.
Okay.
What do you think would be the current slotted decks? And now I'm going to ask you only to do them by maybe not the archetype, but what's
by color?
We'll say by color and warlord.
Okay.
Potentially because that's like still like niche enough. But
Okay,
also,
so going through, do you want me just to go through every warlord and tell you how many I think there will be?
go through the ones that you think are going to show up. Like, don't say, like, if you don't think Castile is going to show, don't say Castile, right?
Okay.
Like, that's just an assumed 0.
So I think we'll have 1 Angelica.
Okay.
I think 4 Fultigras.
That's a lot of Fultigras. That's, that's almost like a 33%.
Yes.
A little under.
The reason for that
because the new
is
player
new players. There's a new
deck.
player product that has Fultigra in it.
It's also very good right now, especially at Pleb. I think it's like one of the decks to beat.
Yeah, I also think that players that come from other card games, when they hear you could have this color deck or you can have this colorless deck, most of them are going to pick the colored one.
Yeah, because in theory you have like more building blocks, I guess.
Exactly.
There's a bit more customizability with the
so
original
like
battle deck.
Even Mariana, she only has access to bounty cards, whereas Fultigra has access to bounty and hero cards.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just twice the card pool almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Going forward, Sharn, I think we'll see 1.
Okay, so so far we've had 6 named.
Castile, I think we'll see 1.
Sure.
No demons. I don't think.
No demons?
I don't think we'll see a demon.
I think I'll agree with you there. It's one of the least popular intro ones from new players.
I agree, and I also think new players aren't picking control decks as much, so Ono's kind of out. And I don't think a new player will understand how good a Dromelic is in Pleb.
Like it definitely from my testing, it's still just as high rolly, or like coin tossy.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of like tech options with the new box and all that, but
I think what the difference is
like how do you play around it?
Well, no, I think the issue is that in a competitive tournament, like if you were to play a Dromelic and I was to play whatever deck I want, I know what a Dromelic does. So if you don't win the coin flip, you lose.
There's like that surprise tactics, right?
But
like,
even if a new player loses the coin flip, if their opponent doesn't know what they're doing, they could still win.
Well, and it also just like there's less like turnaround, I guess, for variance, right?
Yeah.
Like there's such these high impact cards that can swing a game.
Yeah, and you got to also think one of the biggest counters to a Dromelic is Renown. Typhoon. People aren't playing Typhoon in this format.
No, they're not playing Typhoon. They are going to be playing Catacombs or Close the Gateways.
True.
But also that does require then a lot of our newer players, believe it or not, actually aren't going into this tournament with side decks.
Yeah.
So it could totally be a one-sided instance where if you're the poor Fandorian player stuck against the Dromelic Chud, suddenly you might just get like 20 cards eradicated from your deck, and those might be all your warriors.
And you know what? That deserves to happen to the Fandorian deep state. I'm not afraid to say it. If I'm not here next episode, that's why.
Because the Fultigra Psyops got you?
Yeah.
I like it.
So yeah, I don't think we'll see any demons. Moving forward, Titans, I think we'll see... What are we at numbers-wise?
So currently you've listed off 7 warlords.
7? I think we'll see 1.
I mean, you know ones at like our weeklies. I mean, one guy who does avidly play Titans.
I don't think he's playing for the tournament.
I mean, I won't tell you until after you've guessed all of them, but...
I think we're going to see a Prometheus.
Sure.
Undead. I think we'll see 1 Mortis.
Okay.
I don't think we'll see a Malady, though.
No Malady. That makes sense.
I think specifically Malady, all the ways she wins, I know this is very similar with Gaia, the way she wins the game is just too high rarity for the format.
Honestly, I will tell you right now, as a person who's been testing out Putrid in Pleb, it's actually not as as dookie pee pee poo poo as we thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Because you're insulating yourself with like Haunted Labs, and the Haunted package is a nice little like turnaround to help block out.
That's fair.
But you actually have a surprising amount of like damage buffs through the tokens with Bell, Bog, Steadfast is still available to you.
Yeah, Steadfast is still a busted card.
Not long ago, I played a game against Vampires, which is notoriously a deck that heals a lot, right? And like has big warriors, and they were on Sisters. I just ate them up. I ended the game. I ended the game with 10 health.
Wow.
And a lot of the time it was like instances of like, oh, I have 5 dudes. I'll bog. Oh, deal 20 damage to you.
Oh wow.
I heal 20. There's a silly amount of healing in that deck. I will say, without the card draw engine from Horix, again, rest in peace, Horix.
He had to go.
He had to go, but you know what? My brother's gone. But without that engine, you're much more mulligan heavy. And what I've mostly been testing is with Belladonna for the Corpse Quarry because it adds a lot of extra staying power onto the board. especially if untouched. Like you're putting 2 blockers up every turn.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I do think we'll see a vampire as well.
Yeah.
Rosalind has a lot of really strong tools, especially even if she's just sticking big warriors on the board and saying, you have to deal with this now.
You have some pretty good renown options.
You have some good renown options. Turns out Sisters is a good card.
Yeah, Coven also is not a bad option. You could even go in Essence if you really wanted to, especially get some like reshuffle value from like your coffins or whatever.
Yeah, but I think also just like if I'm playing a vampire deck, I think even if I'm not killing you aggro, I'm sticking a bunch of big warriors on the board that you now have to deal with. But also, my vials are pinging you to death very slowly.
Oh, and it's a deck that can really pivot. You can either go from like, they're really playing defensively with like these big warriors that maybe I say I can't push through. Then you have this effect-based damage you can pivot to. Or you can go, if they're not putting really anything on the board, you can go to big boys. Yeah. They can come out swinging. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of people don't think about this when playing vampires. The most powerful thing I think they have access to is the tokens.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Going into a meta for the Pleb that I speculate is going to be very warrior heavy.
Yeah.
Taking out 3 of your opponent's warrior zones at the start of a game into legions that can't readily remove them in the main deck. What do you do? What do you do when the vampire player sits you on 3 of them and then puts 2 more on when they eventually get to like a rebuke?
Yeah, 100%.
So you got 4 more warlords.
Moving on, Myth Beasts. I think we'll see 1 Shalara.
The bird of the word.
Bird. So that's what, 11?
That's 11. You got 3 more.
Dwarves, I think we'll see 1 Quartzart.
That's fair.
I don't think we'll see any Ethels.
I agree.
Specifically because Ethel is a very hard deck to play, and she tends to push new players away from you.
It definitely is like a Giga Brain. Well, I know there's actually a couple of our new players, especially in like the GTA, who are picking up Alehouse.
There's a few, but I think Alehouse plays vastly differently at a Pleb level, and I don't think they're prepared for it.
It is interesting to see how like diverse the deck builds based on the renown choice. Where if you go with the Guardian or like the Ladonza, let's say, or even like the Grinhilder is a consideration.
Yeah.
Like having each of them will play vastly different, like in terms of the 100%. Pace.
Definitely.
But I think someone that really dedicates the time to like learn a deck like that, it does kind of feel like a spreadsheet deck, but it's up there. I think it's powerful.
Oh,
enough.
I think it's maybe the most powerful, but I just don't think we have a player for it.
Until maybe after this podcast release, then maybe we're you know what? If you are learning to pick up Alehouse, I want you to play it at the next available campaign, if you can.
Yeah, I agree.
You. Please, thank you.
Lastly, that leaves 2 Mariana sticks.
Okay, you know what? Like, the only thing I will actually say about this entire guest matrix is that...
Hey guys, just wanted to interrupt here. It's Wes from TSW. I just wanted to let everyone know that I consider that the following information should be private, considering the fact that this video will get released before the Alehouse of Anarchy tournament actually takes place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blank out the next, 20 to 30 seconds of these Nimrods trying to just give out private information of other people's decks. And we're just going to pretend as if it doesn't exist at all. So for the next, 10, not even 3 seconds. Oh, we're already done. Okay, enjoy the rest of the podcast, and thanks for listening.
If we go to a tournament and all 9 legions are represented, us as a testing and design team, we're doing our jobs.
Oh, exactly. and I don't think it's necessarily that like demons aren't like actually demons and pleb. I think both of the warlords are actually very well equipped.
I would agree
for the pleb meta.
Yeah.
It takes the player who wants to play. Yeah. Like if they're from Magic, they want a Madness player, or they want like a Demir Mill player. If you're from another card game, you want that person that likes interacting heavily with your opponent's board. And I think both of those warlords are really tackable.
Yeah, 100%. So if I was actually playing in this tournament,
you're going to be playing Ono, probably?
Yes, I would be playing Ono. I wouldn't be playing Mount Bane. I'd be playing Pure Fallen because Mount Bane has too much high rarity locked to it.
I agree. I think it's, if anything, like maybe a couple, like the Lava Pool as a small tech, or like maybe your Revive one in the back row, like Mount Doom, I think it is.
So I do lose access to some of my high-powered Exaltas that are generic, which is, it is what it is. I'm playing the low-power format.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if what do you think my Renown would be?
I think there is a lot of very good considerations. Yeah. You can either, because I think honestly the Fallen Guardian, like the rare one, Oban, I think his name is, or
Boone?
Boone, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he or Galterius are probably your go-tos.
Yep.
And then I think the Renown, it could be, it's really honestly up to a playstyle at that point. Like Amulet could be solid.
So I actually have the deck built, and I will tell you once you give me your final guess what my Renown actually is.
Okay, because like Amulet I don't think is great enough, but it's recurable with Mammoth, so like it's worthwhile. Paradise Found is just a really strong heal engine in a deck where you kind of lose some of that healing without the big 5 Exalted Lady.
Pusa.
Pusa.
So I do get healing out of Paymons still.
Yeah, you do get the 10 heal. I do think the draw 2, discard 2, that was also a great value engine with Paradise Found, especially doing it once per turn.
100% it is.
You could blow it up yourself and then do it again. I don't believe there's any warriors you really are picking out of that suite. I don't even think that
I
Ono
don't
has.
actually know if there is a demon
There's,
Renown
I
warrior.
mean, there's
Oh,
Malphavex, but
I
like
think that's the only one.
he's locked to Aldromlik anyway.
I think that's the only demon Renown warrior actually.
And I think frankly, although you're probably on treasures. I would think treasures is such a strong, like the guaranteed draw 3 for cost. They make the.
It doesn't draw 3 for cost. It makes 3 dogs for cost.
Sorry, it makes it 3 dogs for cost. It's a very strong defensive piece that can be recurred. You can search it readily, easily off of your Mount Bane splash. Right, you discard 3 to then search a fortified.
Discards 2, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, discards 2 and then searches so you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can bin 2 things that are going to draw you cards. Search for your renown that you're going to see in the game. Put it face down. Force your opponent to respond with it. Yeah, I think I'm going to lock in and say treasures is your renown of choice.
I don't think there's a wrong choice necessarily here. It's my personal choice, and it's not treasures.
Really?
My personal choice is Void Collapse.
You know what? I also think that's a Void Collapse and Aurora are. I think the stocks are going to go up. Pleb stocks for those, both just like solid deck renowns.
I think
especially
Void
decks
Collapse
that can play
might be
with
the
them.
single best renown in the game, and a deck that can abuse it, especially in a low power format, probably should be.
Oh yeah, well it hoses your bad matchups, right? Like into like things like you're assuming if the S tier was, let's say, like Fandos.
We'll actually talk about what's S tier later.
We will talk about S tier later, but yeah, the Void Collapse just hoses a lot of decks.
Yeah, and especially a lot of decks that rely on warrior removal, you just don't get that anymore.
Oh, and guess what? A format that's really warrior heavy. Now that we remove the value of warriors, then suddenly
and especially like
you're
as in a
compounding.
pleb, Anosculus Fallen deck, I'm on 8 warriors main board.
Can you tell me if one of them is it the one with Incinerate and the Perish Steel two guys? Can it be him, please?
He's definitely probably sideboarded because I think he's a solid choice, especially into Angels.
I think he might honestly go up to a minimum of 1 copy or Linger.
But so
I think
my
I like him
current
more than
list,
Linger,
and I
but-
don't mind saying this because I'm not playing, obviously.
Sure,
I'm on 3 Mammon.
that makes sense. That's pretty
I'm on
standard.
3 Imps.
That's pretty standard.
I'm on 1 Acrotech,
That's pretty standard.
and I'm on 1 Arius.
Arius in the main, actually, I think would be one I would disagree with. I would actually rather see that be an Eon in the main.
So the reason for this
Sure.
is I have this little silly thing I want to do.
Okay.
So I want to be able to swift my Arius and have them kill it in response to some effect damage that they're doing.
Sure.
And then in response, I go, hee hee, Wicked Window.
Okay. So
My Arius is there as a bait. It's not a, like...
So it's a now. Hear me out though. What if the Eon was there, and then you could side in the Arius as you said, it was that lightning bolt, if you will.
Eon's definitely in my sideboard, but I want to do the funny thing, and I have Void Collapse, so I'm not as worried about it.
Fair. I think Eon is in everyone's sideboard. I think honestly, it hasn't come up yet, or it hasn't even been discussed even yet. But from me testing a decent amount, I think there might be a justification, at least at Pleb, to consider putting Eon at 2. Later down, of course.
Fair.
Just because, again, it's such a warrior-heavy format, having basically a Void Collapse that any deck can have access to.
As a 3 of, yeah.
And a
strong.
3 of. Some decks will definitely be, like decks like Malady or Black Magic, or even like one keyword really centric, they just get hosed.
Yeah, 100% they do.
Man.
Yeah, so the Pleb tournament's coming up soon. I think we're all really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be there hanging out. Come say hi. I'll actually be judging the tournament.
Our next segment, likely the longest one and the one I've been most excited for, is our speculative Pleb tier list.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by Thomas at Snapshot.
No,
He
could though, and he should.
He could.
know you're listening,
He could do the infographic, but this is going to be a Jackson x Sylas at TSW Academy. Tier
So
list.
we'll be back. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that break. We had some other business to attend to.
Yes, very important business.
Very. Speaking to LeBron Realms himself, actually.
John Elra?
So now that we're back, we have this big stand here. We're going to be going through what we think is a speculative pleb tier list.
Yeah, I think we'll be pretty comprehensive. And just to quickly outlay what the tiers are going to be. Yes, very good. You're probably the majority of the meta share, or what we think is going to be the strongest decks. A, slightly below. Still very good decks, but have key weaknesses compared to the S tier decks. B, you'll get by. They'll have a lot more difficult matchup matrix than other decks will. C is basically like a rogue style deck. Like they're going to occupy a very small amount of the meta or what your play groups are, but can do well in the right circumstances. And D, what does D stand for?
Don't play this.
Don't play this.
Don't play that deck.
Or to start off, because it's the quickest one, what we'll talk about is D for dragons. Dragons are really awkward in the meta and for plebs specifically.
Dragons rely on quite a few high rarity things.
Like Dark Sky.
Not so much Exalteds, even, because you can play dragons without Dark Sky. You just kind of rely a little bit more on Geode. However, in a pleb dragon deck, you're kind of forced to play Nyx, just because Nyx is so good. But then you can't play Millennium, and then you can't play Ley Lines, and it's just really awkward. I think it's currently maybe the worst pleb deck.
Oh, I wouldn't even say currently. It definitely is. Like, it is the equivalent of trying to cook something in the wrong device or utensil. A coworker of mine recently was trying to educate me on the idea that she could boil an egg in an air fryer. It's the same thing. It's like, well, what if I have the air fryer, but I don't have the water? How am I supposed to do that? The deck does. There's too many renowns it relies on. And if you do one renown, you're missing out on the other. If you do Millennium, now you don't have your guaranteed Sprite. You don't have your guaranteed turn 3 Nyx activation. Well, if you do Nyx, you don't have a guaranteed Sprite. How are you getting your dragons and your eradications done without Millennium? Yeah. Pandeshas, if
you play Pandeshas, how does your deck work?
And guess what? A lot of the cards are locked to Pandesha. Yeah. So it's like it does everything just half baked. Yeah. And like what we've theory crafted and tested at minimum, if you are to play this deck, which I don't recommend right now, if you are to though, you're playing very heavy sprite focused. Yeah. And the dragon stuff is purely for your like interaction, your removal, and then your win condition still like life transfer and unbox it on. Because like you have Everflows, which just helps the deck quite a bit. But
even then, if you're playing more sprite based, your best sprite, Clarabella, you still don't get.
No, you don't get Clarabella. Like it's weird. You actually, I think the renown you are going for is still Millennium. Because you don't have anything that's Guardian locked, you might as well just go Galterius, or you could go the Viv pack, because I believe the second activation, Concert Hall, hear me out before I say Concert Hall, it does have a draw discard, if I do correct me on, if it's the right Legion.
I think so, yes.
So you can go like Viv, Mayoral, Concert Hall. It's like you can use that Mayoral, the first one, to help offset some of your early Bloodborns if you don't see your Revolution card right away.
I still don't think it's very good.
No, it's not good. This is like the bottom of the barrel theory crafting. Like we were trying to make this work in a very dire situation. So it's just not very good.
So just make sure this tier list doesn't take forever. I'm going to say we're going to do one, each Warlord's most relevant deck. If the weird jank bounty package that you're playing and calling a deck cough cough freak show isn't on the tier list, sorry, each Warlord gets one.
Yeah, or like if we are going to is because it is only we're not doing it by Warlord, we're doing it by like a deck archetype. Like we're not saying like, oh well, my Mystic Fire Dragon deck isn't on there. Well, because no one's playing Mystic Fire and Dragon. You're either playing Dragon or Mystic Fire. Which, quick segue into it, Mystic Fire or Bird. I think Bird's an S tier deck.
Shallara? Yeah, I think Shallara's S tier deck. The only thing she really loses out on is Abraxas, and Joker kind of fills that niche.
And if you really wanted to, you could play the Croc Rock, the new carnivore,
I think?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
He's not very great, but like in the very niche situation.
He does the thing at the very least.
Yeah, you could Swift him, you could swing your chickens, and you could magical attack him because he's a 2 attack, and then you pop your chickens, pop something else. And if you have the beast power, then you get a full board. Yeah. Kind of. You get 4, but he's not Abraxas.
He's not Abraxas, but he is a pleb replacement for it, and so is Joker. The deck just does incredibly strong things. You don't really play a lot of Renowns anyway. I don't even know what Renown you play.
You might play Void Collapse.
You probably just play one Void Collapse.
Void Collapse good, or Freak Eyes, or sorry, Bug Eyes, whatever his name is. The
Oh
imp.
yeah, Curious Eyes. Yeah,
Curious
of course.
Eyes.
It's
Sorry,
obviously
I'm
Curious
so used to
Eyes.
calling him Freak Eyes.
I forgot about him.
So yeah,
He's still too new.
he's very good though. The heal 5, he's so free.
Oh,
especially
yeah,
with
he's a
Revelation. Like you can
rat.
go the Creationist power or a creation
Burning Creation.
yeah, go Burning Creation, and then the 5 life you would use to blow up something is free.
Yeah.
So you basically get a free revive.
Or even you get Shalara's special ability. It's pay 10 life, revive 2 guys, draw a card.
Now it's
it
pay
becomes
5.
pay 5 life, revive 2 guys, draw a card.
And also Freak Eyes has Wisdom on him.
And Wisdom, so you're making like
2 chickens?
2 chickens, so
'Cause
you're
he's
functionally
Guardian?
getting 4 guys for 5 life and drawing 2 cards at least.
Maybe 3 if you have like a Mervyn Quandale
Yeah.
in your bit. Sorry,
Yeah,
Mervyn
exactly.
if I ever say a name of something, it's because I have too many like weird pet names for
Yeah.
things.
Mervyn
but
Quays.
Mervyn Quays, for those who are not as informed, but is Mervyn Quandale if you talk to me.
Yeah. So
And
next up,
Yeah, next up.
I think S tier Fandos.
It's kind of like the elephant in the room. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to say it's not. It's got so much recent support. It can kind of go somewhat soupy in the form of like you splash a couple of the Darkwood cards, or
Yeah.
you can splash a little bit of like I've seen some people do resistance even like for
Yeah.
the Grand Shield Wall, or
Yeah.
even like Hood becomes because then you get like more arm
Yep.
re-equipped if you're not on champion.
Yeah, and like there's a couple of different renown choices you can have too. If you're playing Baruch champion, really good.
Or Overwintering.
Overwintering, really
Ooh,
good.
is really good.
Or if you don't want to play Baruch, if you want to play a more kind of slower controlling style, you can
Darkwood. Or
Druid.
Druid, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant, sorry. Not Dark.
Anti-magic is really good.
Yeah, having 3 Void Hollows in a format that not everyone has Void Hollow.
Most people don't have
No.
Void Hollow, actually.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It can really just like insulate your turn.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're doing all these other drawing. Like you probably if you're on like Druid, you move to the Shield Wall because it's free then, right?
Yeah.
But to conserve some resources, but 80 health. 80 health on
80
a
health is a lot.
on a Warlord that can just heal 20 on its 3rd turn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Um,
100 health Warlord even. I think it's a pretty
pretty close.
I think it's a safe assumption to say
Yeah.
she's basically 100 health. Well, you get close to killing her, she's just gonna like you have to put her in a point where she can't activate
Yeah.
the synergy to heal.
Yeah.
Which is like, how do you do that
Yeah.
between the deck that's running a chock full of fortified
Yeah,
and big dudes?
the deck's really good. The deck has a lot of great defensive options. You can play it super aggressive. You can play it super controlly. The deck just kind of does everything.
And it's $20.
Yeah.
It's a $20
It's a
deck.
$20 deck.
Holy, you don't even need honestly. If you bought the structure deck and you didn't even put a renown in it, you would do just fine. I don't think you would miss that renown.
No.
Because you could play. I mean, you don't want to not play Baruch, but if you weren't going to play Baruch and you played Lionel Richie, you got a baby help from the Hood,
Oh, yes.
and then the Guardian ability lets you search your deck for a dude. So like in theory, if your 3rd turn, like there's so many.
Or even just trying to find, if you're buying boxes or packs, which I don't recommend if you're trying to build one specific deck.
Yeah.
I'm talking to one specific person out there, and he knows exactly who he is.
Yeah, we're looking at you, pal.
The starter deck is $20.
Yeah.
If you want to build the Druid version, you need Druid, which is like $10 at Legacy packs.
Yeah, and you have a pretty good chance of pulling in a Legacy pack.
Or even if you just buy the single. The single Druid in Legacy, like $10 maybe.
probably not even because the pack's like $10.
Yeah.
So I think a reprint version of them is probably
like $5 for the Druid, and then you're set. And then you
$25?
have to find the anti-magics.
Well, I mean, anti-magics might be harder because they weren't reprinted in the Legacy one.
True, they weren't.
It's like, honestly, I think for a lot of new people playing Fandos, they're more commonly going to be playing a very aggressive version when they're on like that Guardian, they're on the Baruch, and they're probably on the Champion, and they're trying to get those re-equips really fast and swing. Or you can kind of go more mid-rangey, where you maybe could splash an Overwintering for that extra healing.
Yeah, so, but even at that point, your renown is Fandor, like Overwintering or whatever.
Yeah.
You're buying a box of Wintertide to find this. You have a relatively decent chance as far as bullets go, because you get 4 renowns in a box.
True, and
But you're still only $70 deep at that point.
But even like for a pleb stand, like I don't even think we actually like, are we really missing champion if we don't play it? Like that's why between like Bird and Fandor, like both these decks are like the barrier of entry is pretty low. Like if you get the OG battle deck for Bird, you have most of it. You're just missing really Conflag.
Yeah, but so if you're doing it the smart way,
the smart
for Fandos specifically with Baruch,
yeah,
you buy a champion,
buy a champion from somebody in
he's
your community.
$15.
Yeah, probably.
You find whatever other random cards you need, which like I'm gonna be generous and say that's another $15.
Yeah, like I think when I originally bought my anti-magics, they're about like $7 a pop. That was a while ago though,
Yeah.
so like there might be like 10 at most.
But you can't play that with Baruch, right?
Oh, if you're playing with Baruch, yeah,
So
ignore me.
the
ignore me.
Baruch list. So you need your champion, you need your other cards. Let's just assume that's $30. Your $20 starter deck. You're $50 deep, and you have maybe the best pleb deck.
I would say it's definitely like the deck to consistently have to sideboard for because like it just does everything. It's kind of like it reminds me of like Vampires and Constructed in a sense because it has like this multi-axis of attack with like high power warriors, effect damage, strong interaction.
Yeah. Now I do want to give you a little bit of the sauce for that deck. I got a little sauce.
Is it triple Help from the Hood, please?
No. No, I play good cards.
Help from the Hood's a good card.
Help from the Hood is good card. The first Help from the Hood is very good. The second one is okay. The third one's bad.
Oh no, the third one's just so you can eradicate it. Okay.
My secret sauce is, especially in Pleb, Rortimer.
Honestly, I think all of I want to almost put like another tier for like familiars because I think actually all the familiars become very, very strong.
Yeah.
Because that third turn now becomes like even more impactful.
But even especially with Baruch, right? So you go
5 equips.
No, but so what you do is you go special ability with Fultigra, make 2 Tigers or Ligers.
Yes.
Fenrir's Never Fall, make 2 more, heal 20.
Yep.
Make your warrior, whatever warrior you want.
Let's say champion for the sake of conversation.
Champion. He has 3 things on him.
Yep. You've only really spent 11. You healed 11 because you only spent 9 of it, right? So
Yeah.
you're really up 11 still.
Yeah. And then you go press Baruch. Champion can attack 4 more times now because you have 4 Ligers. And he has 5 more equipments on him.
And if you would have them all there if you played 3 Help from the Hood.
So yeah, Rortimer with Baruch can do some very... if you have a Baruch and you have a Rortimer attached to him, he kind of just says die.
Yeah, no, yeah, worst case, it puts you in so far back, you might as well just skip.
Yeah.
Like, if you have 2 halberds, 2 bows, a pelt, and a shield, like, what do? Like, I rip 2 cards from your hand, I blow up 2 of your things, and that's only 1 attack. If you have a board full of things, goodbye to your hand,
Yeah.
goodbye to your board.
Oh, yeah.
Silly goofy.
So moving on, I want to talk briefly about another deck that I think is D tier.
Another do not play.
Yeah, do not play. This is, now, keep in mind, this is pleb only. This deck is very, 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 very good and constructed. Sorry, Michael players, he sucks. He's real bad.
Yeah, Michael is. Unfortunately, it's because we have a very big shift, and I'm going to put Seraphim, because I think you could, like my little bit of testing, Night Watchers feel okay, and like we've gotten a little bit of light support shown, so like I wouldn't be shocked in the near future if maybe we get a little bit more, and maybe that puts him up a couple tiers later.
But for now...
He's
so bad.
Like, it's so much life. You don't do a lot of healing, and like if you are again to play Seraphim or play Michael, I very much urge you to play Helios and Lunos as your renown because at least it gives you something to grasp.
It gives you some healing, but you don't get the healing off of your devotion because you can't play Azrael. Then you're not playing Alex, so you don't get a guaranteed warrior in your hand. You don't get pure Seraphim power,
which is the thing I miss the most. Honestly, not playing Alex.
But then if you are playing Alex, you have no healing in the deck, pretty much.
Like your best healing warrior archetypal is I think his name's Adathan. I keep calling him Nathan.
Adathan, yeah.
Adathan. I call him Nathan for some reason.
And he's recovered 3.
Yeah, he's only marginally better than the original structure deck one. The other Seraphim.
Yeah, because he has a Perish too.
He has a Perish that like it fogs effect damage. Sure.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Woo.
Riveting.
My Angel Warrior dying, like.
Yeah.
Only other thing I would say you could grasp at, like I've done like a very, very pure Seraphim build where I was practicing it, like with the Alex, pretty decent in consistency with your draws, like being able to play like 6 Wisdom Warriors, some Gust.
You just pay so much life.
You do pay a lot of life. The only saving grace you really have is like if you're actually playing a lot of these older cards like Sablos or like Shamuels, where like you're able to consistently put counters on things every turn, and you can maybe go for like a final stand on turn 2. But like that's also assuming your opponents haven't removed any of your counters.
Yeah.
And the other 2 S tier decks that we're playing against will make 7 attack dudes consistently. So, So all that effort.
Not to mention, both of them are going to be blowing up a lot of cards.
Yeah, like so. If that is the one benefit. Like you won't likely lose your board. The issue is having a board full of warriors is not nearly as important with the holy counters when decks are now putting out bigger bodies than ever, and your deck's only really good at stopping unifieds and fortifieds.
Yeah.
But this is very much a warrior-focused format, in my opinion,
I agree.
as of right now.
I agree. Yeah. Moving on, what else do we think would be going? I think we should try to get S and D out of the way because I think they're going to be the easiest right now.
I think another, in contrast to Michael, I think his counterpart, Castiel, I think is an S tier deck.
Yeah, I agree.
He puts out way more holy counters. He has a guaranteed win condition in the left side.
Yep.
His negates are actually a lot less resource intensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Not to mention, you can still play some of the good Seraphim cards from Michael in that deck.
Yeah, 100%.
He has good draw power. He has good sticking power. Like, you're still playing Sigurd, so you're still getting the Empyrean Empire
Consistently
turn 0.
every game.
He does a lot. I
got
don't
a
think
new-
he's good as the other two, but I think he's definitely S tier still.
Yeah, like I think if unchecked, like let's say for example these two, because these two do a lot of good job of blowing up unifieds and fortifieds. This deck will always have holy counters.
Yep.
Like unless you explicitly side deck into Castiel, which of course is like you're preventing the fog. This deck can win before its third turn. You can do.
Oh, yeah.
You can do some silly things with Oath. You can get some like extra buff from like
100%.
Uprising or.
And especially in Pleb, you're probably playing 1 or 2 Minamaxes that are just 5-power beat sticks.
Yeah, and like they also now got even more draw power in the form of the new arm card, and also it does give you like if you were worried about your AP, like I don't think it used a lot of AP before.
It could definitely hit 50, but if you hit 50, it was a long game, and you're like killing somebody pretty much right after.
And also to note, against the other two decks, this deck has a fortified way to deal damage based on the number of cards in play.
Yep.
And both of the other S tier decks are very board centric.
Yeah.
So being able to like, hey, take 10 every turn.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
not 10, but it could be. It could be like 3 warriors, like whatever the spread is.
Yep.
Like,
Well, especially in Fandos, because it said for each unified and fortified face up on the board, it counts your armaments.
it does. Oh, so ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, it's good.
Like, oh, you know what? Like that's what I mean. Like they're kind of like this feels like a rock paper. Maybe not. It is kind of like a rock paper scissors.
Kind of,
Like,
yeah.
I think all of them have like reasonable matchups into each other, but I wouldn't say one's better than the other. Like I think it really, in this case, really comes down to who is the better player, or like who had the nuts, right, or who had the better hand.
Now, I think you're going to disagree with me on this one.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm sorry, dude. I think as the premier Gaia player, Gaia's in D tier.
So hear me out. I think if we cut, it's cut in the middle. I think Gaia is a B tier deck. I think the level of card draw and interaction, you do lose a very strong win condition, and you
lose your only win condition, really.
Well, that's another thing. You will have to splash like a non-archetypal, like with the masks. But I think being able to, again, we're moving to a really warrior-centric meta. Having Reformation is backbreaking for a lot of these top decks. Like, how do you kill it? Especially now, if I'm eradicating two face down.
So the problem is that if Gaia's not killing you, I'm paying so much life to get that card advantage. Like, I just don't like. It's so easy to kill Gaia. Like, there have been games, even in constructed formats, where I'm doing my thing, I think I'm in a pretty good position, and then somebody, like, discards an aerial assault, and I'm like, oh, that's 3 damage, and I'm dead. Or somebody plays a ferocity, and it's like, well, I can't stop that, I die.
What if, because I haven't done enough testing with the new ethereal stuffs. Because a lot of the ethereal stuff does even add more layers of protection in front of our dudes. If we're splashing some X, and also gives us a bit more recursion, right? Like we
but
could
then you're
have
not playing Gaia.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We're not playing Unstoppable.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like, if we're playing a pure Unstoppable list, like
pure Unstoppable is D. I think
a pure Unstoppable, sure. I'll concede there. Pure Unstoppable is missing a couple cards.
Yeah.
It will definitely annoy people quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it's annoying. I think it's the same reason that another deck is in D tier, actually, and we can talk about ethereals later.
Yeah,
because they're definitely not D.
Yeah.
Another deck that is annoying but not good, I think, is Genmerid Jins.
Yeah, like it does struggle to win. I'll give it that much. With an experienced enough player, you will stall out games like no one's business.
Oh, for sure. Unfortunately, the reason you don't play Jins is because you go to time and round every game.
Yeah, like it's missing a couple things. Like my friend Brian, he's done some pretty decent things, and like I've seen actually into a lot of these top decks where they actually are maintaining a lot of strong warriors on the top of the board. Jin actually does surprisingly well into those decks.
You could.
The issue comes though is that when you're playing decks that have like mid-sized bodies that aren't like super huge,
Yeah.
You can't cycle your Kashans. You
Yep.
don't get nearly as much damage, like especially if they're healing a bunch. Like,
Yeah.
how do you win a game?
So as much as I love Jins, unfortunately right now, they're not good.
they're like 1 or 2 cards away though. Like I think they are very close.
They're very close. They need a way to push a little bit more damage. And like obviously Curse does that, but then you lose out on Kashan.
And Kashan, I think, is honestly the right choice.
I agree. Crush is really good.
Or the Retaliate. He's
Yeah.
searchable off of your wish making, which
Yeah,
none of the other
exactly.
things are searchable.
Yeah, he's just very, very good.
Yeah.
So now we actually, that's our first Legion off completely on the list. Myth Beast is done.
Yeah, Myth Beast is it's kind of awkward because again they're kind of soupy, and a lot of the
Yeah.
time they soup into the other high rarity things to get the most value,
Yeah.
and it's kind of their detriment
Yeah.
in this format as of right now. Until they get more soft soupy things in like future formats when they get cheaper like lower rarity things that fill in slots.
Yeah, I think we should, now that we kind of have our basis filled out, I think that's a pretty solid start. I think we should just start going through Legions.
Going through Legions. Okay, well we haven't touched Undead yet.
Well, I think we should just start at Heroes and work our way through.
Oh, Heroes. Okay, Rogues.
Rogues.
I think Rogues is an A tier deck.
I would agree. They have a pretty solid win con. They have a very obvious choice for a Renown, being their
Fod
Guardian.
and Raspy, yeah. You
they're
also do
solid.
a silly amount of consistency with like,
Oh, yeah.
with having access to Maravins.
Yeah.
If you are a real elixir enjoyer,
Yes.
a potion believer, actually that
Yes.
doesn't have alliteration. But I'm a huge stan of like 2 to 3 vitalities, maybe
Yeah.
even 3 just to see it. You don't want all 3.
I don't know if 3, but definitely 2.
Like yeah, being able to like bin 3 every turn, like it turns your ballrooms live. It gives you access to your wire traps instantly.
It's so good.
Connection. Every warrior just draws a card and says get another warrior out of your hand. And also like if you just buy EOR, like a box EOR, like I think I opened most.
Almost make a rogue deck. You might need to buy a Raspy, but that's about it.
He's probably the cheapest of the EOR guardians. Like maybe second by Stinknar, because Stinknar
Yeah,
is
I would agree that
attached,
those two are
unfortunately, to a
probably-
deck that's not very popular.
Yeah, I would agree that those 2.
So that's, I guess, how do we feel about, like, are we counting Resistance as its own deck?
I am going to say, breaking my own rule, let's just lump Alero into Alero.
Just Alero? Because I would say,
Just say Alero.
because I was going to say Brackets and Resistance I think are very different.
I think we can just say Alero.
Just say Alero? I think Alero's kind of like a C.
I would agree. He's rogue.
Like, you definitely can do some funny things. Like, Resistance is kind of a rogue deck.
Yeah.
Brackets is kind of a rogue deck. But if you're playing Alero, you're doing it because you're doing either something to abuse his redemption, right?
Yeah.
Or you're doing it to have, like, maybe access to cards that are locked to Alero,
Yeah.
which, though not many, there is some.
He's kind of just a toolbox of a warlord right now. He doesn't have a clear identity. And not enough people play him that it's just kind of like, we don't know enough about how this deck, like how this warlord wants to be.
And it's kind of awkward, too, because, like, if you were really playing up Resistance stuff, I don't think any of it's locked to Alero. So, in theory, you could just still have the full Tigra.
Yeah, exactly.
To have the extra 10 life, or even play, if you want to, Angelica to actually get access to all the things locked to her, which
Yeah.
has actually a decent amount of interactive pieces locked to her.
Moving on,
that's-
Orcs.
Orcs.
Sharn?
Ooh. I think I'd compare Sharn to Rogues.
Yeah,
Like,
I think-
specifically Wartorn.
I think both Sharn versions are very similar in this format.
I would argue, I think Boars is probably B for Boars. I think it
don't think
definitely, you lose on a lot of the strong interaction. You do have access. The issue is because the win condition now is just like pigs that you make from destroying your warriors. So if they remove your whole board and like you have very limited ways of reviving
Well,
them.
no,
like,
because in Wartorn, not Wartorn, Boars, your renown is Trial Grounds.
yeah, but then you don't have, what I'm saying, you don't now have access to the temple.
Which is,
I guess it's
you're
fine.
never getting access to the temple because the temple is locked to Trial Grounds.
Which is unfortunate. Like, I mean,
but you have other ways of pumping your warriors, right? Like you can still.
like I said, like, is it Desolation's the draw and
Yeah.
makes the pigs. It's your seclusion zones?
Exclusion zones.
Exclusion
yeah.
zones. That buff the dudes. Like,
Yeah. I think it's still good.
Do you think it's good as a Wartorn, though?
I think it's around even. Wartorn has like a lot of. I think Wartorn almost in Pleb wants to play more mid range than aggro.
Potentially, yeah, because you definitely you can play more interaction now that you're losing out on like some of your high end stuff,
Yeah.
and then also
I can concede that Boars are maybe in B though.
how about I'm gonna put them in the middle
Yeah, that's
between
fine.
A and B. They're like I would
Like
say
A minus B plus.
yeah, like you are incorrect and correct at the same time. Like I wouldn't say boars are not like an A tier deck because you're playing basically the same thing as War Torn. The difference is your synergy is different, and like it's maybe like an 8 to 10 card difference. Like the core of both decks are identical.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of hard to, I guess, sever them at the hip.
Yeah. So next is the
Duxfox.
other Orc Warlord, Duxfox.
I think he's C. Like he's not as bad as these ones. I will say.
No, I agree. He can definitely do things. You're playing Stinknar for the Stinknar locked cards.
Because you have to. They're like the key engine pieces.
Yeah. He does things. The problem with this deck is his win cons and pleb are not very good.
Like I will say, because everyone else's win cons are worse. Weirdly, you can kind of like play that longer game now, especially because if you're locking synergies, you're locking warlords, and being able to play that game where I'm gonna just have like as many things on board. I'm healing like what 10 a turn. Would that be reasonable?
Sometimes, yeah.
Healing 10 a turn, and there might be a time where you're just stealing their warriors. Like you're basically preventing them from playing big things and just taking them. That's not Fallen. Like Fallen's way better. Yeah. But like I think adjacent to Fallen. If like Fallen, like you gave your little brother like the controller. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Like Duxbox is the little brother. Yeah. But it's not like the controller's not plugged in. Yeah. So like you think a C? Like it's not.
Yeah, I would agree with C. He's rogue. I'm not sure how good he is in pleb, especially within his win cons left in pleb. They're really like. You're playing Duldox or Mad Dash, and both those cards are not good.
Honestly, I'm a happy man if I die if someone resolves Mad Dash on me. Like that's my perfect dream.
That's both works done. We actually did both Angels already too.
Both Angels is done. Rogue Heroes are done, and Orcs are done.
So Demons.
I
think I want to start with a Drumlick because I think he's A tier.
I'm torn, not war torn, but so. I've done a decent amount of trying with him, and it's a little like it's still just as coin flippy as like the main one. The difference being though is that like you're turning the corner power is way less. Like you have actually a significantly harder time. Like how do you win? You win with Sifsara,
but like my reasoning why I think he's A is that it doesn't matter if Sifsara is your win con when your opponent doesn't have a deck.
See, like. I do agree, but it could just be as awkward as the deck plays so much lifesteal. You don't really have any healing. Like I think there's a world where you could maybe there's a way maybe you could just fine tune it to where like you're not pure black magic, but you're teching enough of it to slowly hate out your opponent's deck, like a runic stun-esque.
Yeah, I still think he's A tier.
You know what? Like I think a lot of decks are gonna really struggle because like it's now really more sideboard dependent.
Yeah.
It's kind of not as good. Like if you want to play a deck that's kind of, I think Castile might just be a close adjacent to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like the A tier equivalent, like I would personally say he's like a low A, high B, but I'll put him in for the sake of it. We'll put BM in A tier. Yeah. And I think the same for Fallen. I think Fallen's also.
Yeah, I agree. Fallen is also A tier.
Like it's kind of hard to argue it isn't. It doesn't really lose a lot. Like it does lose some of the high rarity things, but like a lot of the high rarity things you lost were like
very generic cards, or they're like other archetypal pieces that you're splashing like Mount Bane.
Yeah, and like you could also just now then fill in with more of your same archetype stuff, and because now it's more warrior focused, you can put those warriors that when they die like Linger, Nikor, the one that has Incinerate, like those guys actually might be houses. Especially into the decks that we think are going to be like top.
And don't forget, this is maybe the first time it's come up. Super importantly, the anime Swift Warriors are rare.
Yeah, all of them can be played in pleb. And honestly, the demon one is the most playable one. 100%.
No, the bounty one is.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
But the demon one's definitely second. He's really good. Yeah. And hand hate in a pleb format, I think, is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I also think maybe there's a world where this new Hellplane stuff might be able to be played.
I don't know how good it is because you don't have access to Beatrice.
I guess you don't actually need to heal either in Fallen. Like, it's specifically in Black Magic you could do some number of Hellplane because like the shuffle back's actually
with really the eradication and stuff.
Yeah, because I also like Fight for the Hellplanes because then you eradicate 3 from your discard for cost, and if you have like a box, it's like 1 Bloodborne, which is a pretty
good.
I hit the top 9 cards of your deck for free.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's Demon's done.
Well, okay. Do we want to put our unfortunate lava friends in D tier? I don't think
they're not a real deck.
They're fake.
I love Mount Bane and I love playing it.
The Mount Bane style.
But my Mount Bane deck is kind of just how many Exalteds can I cram in here?
And at
The
that
answer
point,
is a lot.
You're being more or less carried by like the rarity then, versus like the actual like core of the deck. That's fair.
There's only actually 2 locked Demon Exalteds, or 3, I guess now.
It's kind of like similar to Heroes. Like Heroes, they're kind of soupy.
Yeah, well, so there's one locked to a Dromalek and 2 locked to a Nautilus. So if I'm playing Mount Bayonet and Nautilus, which I am for the 5 extra health and the more relevant
left side abilities,
left
right?
sides, in that deck anyway, especially because I'm playing Abagor as well.
No, I don't disagree by any means.
Yeah, I'm playing every Demon Exalted but 1, including like I'm playing Hell Freezes Over, I'm playing the Vendetta Warrior, like I'm playing Frigid Fallen Heart.
And I really wish they made those loyalty wars locked to the original Guardians. That wouldn't be nearly as playable, but I think some of them it would be funny. But I don't think they probably wouldn't see the light of day. A lot of them.
No.
So that's demons.
Yeah, it's demons. Let's move on. We talked about
we
Unstoppable.
touched Titans. Yeah, I think Primordials. I think they might be in S tier.
I think they very well are S tier.
Like they do better than all the other aggro decks in A. You don't lose a lot, and because you're Titans, I think almost consistently it is hard to argue that you don't just pick Amulet as your Renowned.
I think in that deck you could definitely just play First Battlefield Varian.
Or Elise, right? Because that's like having a guaranteed Rift Ward.
Yeah, Elise is good.
It's just so
the deck's good.
You don't lose a lot, and like you don't need anything on the left side. Like half the time you're just gonna play Galterius.
I think you're always playing Galterius.
Yeah. And your synergy, you can just pick whatever. You like roll a dice. You could be the OG synergy. The OG synergy is actually pretty good.
You could be OG, or you could be Peace Monument.
Peace. I love drawing cards and healing them.
No, they're good.
Now, I'm going to be as objective as possible. I think Ethereal is probably a B tier.
I am inclined to mostly agree. I do think a lot of Ethereal's power currently is locked behind, they have 3 Exalteds. They have, 3 Renowns too now.
See, for me, it's actually just losing the Wachugs.
Yeah.
Is the big thing.
Yep.
Because honestly, the very defensive part of it is really nice, and having access now to reduce the rubble as a win con.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And with either Warlord, you could be Gaia or Prometheus. I've been testing both. Being able to have towers as a recursive engine piece, especially in an archetype, like a Legion that was not really recursive heavy. Right, like when things are in ERAD, it's sometimes hard to get things out.
Depends on your build, but
yeah, exactly. But having a way to then shuffle back things that you want to trigger their ERADs, I've done so many times where I've shuffled back to Smash, Eradicate Smash, Revive 3. Yeah. All my dudes have relevant parishes.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree. It's in B.
Yeah, B for not for boars, but for for
Ethereals.
The Ethereals. Ethereals. That's how you spell it. So I think that's Titans then. That's all
Titans
3.
Then? Yeah. All 3.
Yes, quotation marks. We know we're gonna get a Mother of Monsters. We don't know what it.
She's coming. She's on the way.
Yep, she's scary. Maybe even she's not a monster. She's probably very nice actually.
She's a mother. Let her rest. Okay?
I was gonna say she's a mom. She must be somewhat nice. Yeah. Mortis is cool and he's a dad.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mortis. I'm very torn on this one because I don't think he beats any of the S tier decks.
No.
He doesn't assuming they don't see sideboards, which is kind of a Mortis thing anyway.
I kind of don't even think he beats any of the A tier decks.
See, I think a lot of these A tier decks somewhat struggle against it because the Deathloop is very hard to remove.
For a lot of these decks, it's not.
I mean, War Torn, I guess you. How do you do it? I know you can with rogues because you can in theory have a mysteries and pop your own mysteries.
You can also just shuffle stuff back in rogues.
Trap. Yeah, the wire trap. I guess you could. Yeah, smoke ambush.
War Torn, you just rampage over it.
True. Well, do you have rampage in War? I guess you do play Died. You play Rage of Randar or Diedaz. Yeah. BM just you get hosed. Fallen. Fallen might be a little awkward.
Your Deathloop is mine now. Thanks.
True.
And Boars, you just get rampaged over. I don't think there's a single good matchup for Mortis here, which is why I think it's B tier.
And it does get kind of sideboard out. Mortis will always be a deck that, if uncontested, it's super consistent. It will always do the thing, but I think that's where
But any of these S or A tier decks, they're contesting him.
Yeah, they're contesting him. They have sideboards, and I will agree that I think B is a nice space where it's not there's very clear issues with these decks, but if all these will be if unchecked, we'll just still win. They can beat S tier decks.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Bird cries against Graham. I mean, hopefully you have a lure or something.
Yeah.
But
so Melody.
I think Melody, from what I've tried, it's not D. It's definitely not D.
I think putting it in C is a solid choice. Melody runs a lot of Exalteds and high rarity stuff that aren't necessarily crucial to her game plan, but they are crucial to her winning the game.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have Mausoleum, which is a lot of damage. You have Bell and Flowers still, but Mausoleum's a lot.
Yeah, and like losing the Horrocks recently, like honestly, I think before Horrocks got reduced, I'd say it's a pretty clear B. Like, it's not beating S or A, but with the Horrocks hit, until there's more like potential support for the archetype.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie, like I'd be slumming out here. Like my best case has been like against other decks when they're very like warrior focused, and I'm on labs and like the haunted package.
Yeah.
And like hopefully just because I'm spitting out dudes, they just mill themselves out.
Yeah.
But again, into a lot of these like higher tier decks, that's actually a detriment to myself because now their retrieves are better. Their return effects.
So I think she. Oh, you already put it in C.
Yeah, I put it in C for
future. I agree. C for, I can't say that out loud. Actually, it sounds too much like a bad word.
Carnophilia, is that that one song from Pierce the Veil? It's about like being sick and stuff.
I wouldn't know.
I can't remember the name. It's something like that. Anyone that listens to Pierce the Veil out there, please put the name of that song and potentially your favorite line into the comment section. I know they mentioned something about being contagious in that song. Yeah.
I don't know. Last undead deck, vampires.
I think vampires are A.
I agree.
You don't really lose anything at the rarity switch.
I don't think you need to say much about vampires. It's like, hey, they have their vials. They have
Crimson Field.
Like, they're an aggro deck that gets big and punches you, and then you have to remove their guys, and then they have vials and healing.
What?
And
your warrior slots are mine. I've kidnapped your slots.
Yeah, exactly. Like the deck doesn't change that much.
It's unfortunately just like worse Fandos in my opinion.
Yeah,
they play very similarly.
Yeah, but you have like a couple of relevant renown choices. You can play the Sisters. You can play the Coven.
I think you could maybe even consider the Essence. I don't think it's as good as the other two, but like if you only had one, right? Like
for sure. Yeah.
You don't play Meg ever.
No.
You don't ever touch Vault of Souls because I think is that Octomortals? I think it is.
I don't think Vault of
Maybe
Souls
it's
is.
You're definitely not on Collapse because that's like counterintuitive.
Yeah. Like the deck does the thing. You're playing good vampire renowns. It is what it is. Deck good.
If you really hated Titan players in your like local area or like some of these other eradication based decks,
you could play the Amulet.
Yeah. You could do the Talisman.
Or the Talisman. Sorry. Yes.
The only issue is that it does lock out like some of your relevant like eradicate effects like Coffin and Rebuke, but also a small concession for you not be able to play the game.
Yeah.
But that's also what Catacombs is for. So.
Yeah.
So
that's both of those. We did talk about all the mythical beasts. So dwarves.
I think
we have to separate this into three because Blastforge and Frozen are two separate decks that both play Quartz Art.
Yeah, Blastforge,
and then obviously
Frost, Alehouse.
Let's talk about the easiest one first. Alehouse S tier, baby.
Yeah, you know what? I will say there like they have a lot of good renown choices. On like it is like definitely of the S tier decks, it is the highest skill tier. Like
it's the hardest to play, which is why I think we're not seeing it much.
Oh, 100%.
But the deck, if you have a skilled player, the deck is phenomenal.
Give someone who really likes drinking a spreadsheet, and then you tell them how to read that spreadsheet. They'll start cooking up something. Like a few buttermilks there, a few meads, a few trips to the bathroom because you put too many concoctions into your body. Hopefully, honestly, I really hope someone does
drink some of that alehouse water.
Honestly, when it eventually comes out, I can't wait. Alehouse drink, indicate drink, consume 5. No, one day. And I honestly would be delightfully surprised if there's someone that picks up this deck, and really gives it the time and attention it deserves at both rarities. Because there's not a lot of people that play it at Construct. There's a few.
There's a couple, yeah.
Just got a little comma there. Don't mind me. I think Blastforge.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Blastforge has a lot of the same strengths and a lot of the same weaknesses as Sharn currently does.
It's probably A. I think it's
just the same deck, kind of.
It is the same deck, but you do things a little differently. Instead of blowing, I guess you do blow up things, but you mostly return things. You bounce things. You instead of like having a wider board, you have one big board. So like if Sharn and Primordials had like a child, you kind of made Blastforge.
Kind of, yeah.
You got really short, and you also liked the explosives.
Frozen.
I've done a decent amount. It's not C. It's not Buns.
No, I would put it in B.
It's a B deck. Like, it does well into some of these S tier decks. Actually, funnily enough, it does really well into 3 of them. with having the shatter.
Yeah.
The issue is if shatter gets negated.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. The deck pays so much life, and unlike the
Yeah.
constructed version, you lose a lot of your healing. You
Yeah.
lose a silly
You
amount.
lose a lot.
Like, there's at least 6 cards like between Talisman, Frozen Hills, Agadis, and there has to be
the
one
synergy.
in the synergy.
Which doesn't directly heal you, but your Welcoming of Wintertide is locked to it.
Yeah, it was like, but within the other like 3 renowns or like the one exalted, like you're losing out so much healing, and you just have this once per turn that can sometimes break. Like I remember because like in my version I was testing and playing, I was a little warrior heavier because like a lot of the arcane and frozen stuff like mills.
Yeah.
I revealed like 4 warriors and like I scooped. It was like you won. I healed 3 and I was dead.
Mm-hmm.
But like also if I get to the point in the 3rd turn similar to the Blast Forge, I could just like 3 pickaxes do that like 4 times. Now with the new like Frozen Winds, is basically just give a dude Swift. You have Swift on dudes, Ancient Frozen Frontier. Like you actually have a ridiculous amount of ways.
You have a lot of ways to get guys out.
And the arcane stuff works pretty synonymous, I think, with like stacking the deck.
Yeah,
so you have like
I agree.
good stacks. So maybe if arcane gets more support in the future, like a little arcane frozen mix up, you know, like maybe it gets better and maybe it contends with its Blast Forge cousin, but also Blast Forge is going to get even better with like the structure deck, I imagine.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
If anything is like with Fandos did with that structure deck, like we have a C for Alero, and then like Fandos is up here. Like I can imagine maybe it hangs out with his best buddy Blast Forge, but who knows?
Yeah. So that's it for dwarves. We have 2 more warlords to talk about.
Ooh.
Marianas first. Honestly,
I think this
she's
one
S tier.
really, because like maybe I'm just not a believer. I mean, I've also the last couple of times I've played against that deck, it's absolutely rolled me.
Yep. Does that?
It does do that. And I guess your renown choices are like really good, like really really good, because like they don't like they're like other times you would include these renowns in other decks. There's usually some like downside or a concession you make. Collapse or Aurora is so free.
Yeah.
Honestly, Aurora might just be the automatic choice.
It might be Aurora. Honestly, it might also just be Trackline Cannon.
Trackline Cannon funny, but
it's very good.
it is very good. Don't get me wrong, but like
Keep in mind, it's Marianas locked, so you can tutor it too.
you can search it. It does have like that consistency there. But like Aurora being able to like insulate your back row interaction, which I think might be one of the like being able to prevent your opponent from blowing up your ceremonies too early, pretty good. Or like Shiver Me Timbers.
For sure, yeah.
They can't blow that
Or
up.
even just the card that locks unified zones.
Batten Down.
Yeah, batten down.
Like, and also a lot of these top 2 decks very unified heavy or act heavy, right?
Which is why I think it's S tier.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just a Marianas hater. But I'm gonna now it's Pirates because there's not another version you can play the deck, so I'm gonna play Pirates.
Okay.
Yar.
Now the last deck we got to talk about.
Don't say Masks.
Merriman.
Oh, he's so buns.
He's D tier.
Get him in. Put him in the trash. Do not play him.
Unfortunately, the way that deck works is with Malediction, and Malediction is not legal, and the deck does not work.
And like it lost. Like in all fairness, it should have lost Sad Gold.
Yeah.
Like I think it could maybe be a rogue deck if it still had access to Path and it still had access
Sad Gold,
to Sad Gold.
It doesn't though.
It doesn't no. So that's like Christmas Dreamland.
Yeah.
It belongs in the dumpster. Can D be dumpster tier now? It's not D for dragons.
Yeah.
Or I guess do not play. Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So we have a pretty actually solid spread in every tier.
Yeah, and it's almost pretty equal except for like this middle area where it's like we're floating.
Yeah.
I think all these. With the maybe a couple additions of new warlords if they're ever coming in the near future. Like in theory, we don't know what the new Blast Forge one is, but I'm assuming it has it on the left side. Maybe
we can presume it's probably the same as the other 2 structure decks, right? Like they'll have all the relevant pieces to have a deck.
Side, yeah. So like, not that it's going to necessarily change because we're not doing this by warlord, we're doing it by archetype. But like in theory, if we were to put each one for Alero, like there'd be a Brachus and resistance. So it's like there are 5 here, and then like B for I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think this is a pretty solid list. It kind of accomplishes what we want. So just to clarify,
for those like us listening,
just reading the list out for those listening. In S tier, we have Mystic Fire Phoenix Hatchlings, or Bird. We have Fandorians. We have Castiel Lost Messiah / Chaos Divine. We have Prometheus's Primordial / Aryan. We have Ethelheim's Alehouse, and we have Marianas' Pirates. In A tier, we have Angelica's Rogues, We have Sharn Wartorn. We have Adromlech's Black Magic. We have Inosclus's Fallen. Don't combine those two. I don't like that they're so close, honestly. We have Sharn's Boars. We have Rosaline's Vampires. And we have Quartzheart's Blastforge.
Soon to be unknown Warlord, potentially.
He's named on cards. He's been shown off. He actually had a giant standee at the Rally of the Realms. His name is Keldor.
I really wanted that. I wanted that to be in my house. I want to have a giant Keldor at home.
Just like hang it up above your bed.
Honestly, I would, like Petrella. It's not Petrella. It's I think it's what's the putrid?
Patricia Putrid.
Yeah, I want a Patricia Putrid, not Petrella, because Petrella, man, I the vile princess. No,
Yeah.
I want one. Of them.
Continuing, in B tier we have Ethereals and Either Titan Warlord. We have Mortis's Grim, and we have Quartzheart with Frozen. In C tier, or Rogue, we have any version of Alero.
Yep, be it the 3 different versions you can play this deck.
Yep. We have Duxvox, unfortunately, and Putrid with Malady.
Yeah.
And then D tier, we have Dragons with Marisod, Michael's Seraphim, Gaia's Unstoppable, Jan Marid's Jin, which is spelled wrong on the whiteboard.
Is that spelled wrong?
Nope, there's no H in that word.
No way. There's got to be an H in
There is not.
Well, you know what? For the most part, I spelled everything else correct. So my literacy has not struck me out.
And finally, our last D tier deck, which stands for Do not play any of these decks. They are so bad. We have Magic Mask Merryman, Magic Mask Maker.
I will say, though, I encourage anyone to prove me wrong or us wrong by doing really well at the Alehouse Anarchy or any future campaign events with these S and D tier decks. Because that honestly would brighten my
100%. And if any of you disagree with us, leave us a comment. Tell us why you disagree with this and what you think should be where.
Yeah, and please don't say dragons should be S tier. I don't think you'll be right.
Please say dragons should be S tier. I just want to see Jackson be uncomfortable about it.
If you told me sprites were S tier, because like S sprites, you know what, I might agree with you. Very hard to agree with.
Okay, so moving on, we have one last little segment here.
Yeah, dog.
Jackson doesn't actually know about.
It's going to be a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Just gonna put this down here.
Last week we drafted Exalteds. Now we're not doing that again.
Damn it.
We will be doing that again for Macabre and the 8 Loyalty Warriors we actually missed last week.
Don't worry about it, they don't count.
They do.
No, they were the Kickstarter.
They'll be in the Macabre draft. However, Jackson was not happy with our last choice pick.
With Ethereal Peaks or
Yes.
Frozen Heart?
Ethereal Peaks. You were not happy with that being the last one.
It shouldn't be, no.
So I want you to pick your 3 favorite and your 3 least favorite.
So my 3 least favorite, or so when you say least, like the ones I personally don't like the most, or ones I think are the worst?
Either.
Because I can be fairly objective about that. I'm going to say the Mythical Beast one is going to be the first one I start with. As much as I love the Chinook.
As best or worst?
As worst.
Worst? So Gangash, the Deep North
Yeah,
Chinook, is your 3rd worst Exalted in the set.
Gagaduke. Yeah,
You're
Chinook.
wrong, but okay.
Like, he's cute. I love the art. Like, on a baseline, like, there's nothing wrong with him. He just, like, what do you do with him? Like, I guess you could generically slot him into things.
You don't know his powers.
I know he eats things, yeah, but
So
like...
he has Devour and Insatiable, so whenever he kills a thing, which he has to kill 2 things to attack against +2, so he goes on his first attack to 9 power, which is a lot.
It is a lot, but like...
Now, in perhaps Jan Marid, where all your warriors have Recycle...
Like, true, but like, do we want to be playing like a non-archetypal warrior?
Yes, he's so good in that deck.
Like, I could see like
he's a little bit more niche right now, but
Like,
I can understand why you place him that low. But he's so good.
Like, I'm not saying he's definitely not like the absolute worst Exalted, but I just think he's missing a home.
Fair.
He needs to find somewhere. Like, you can splash him somewhere. Like
Well, maybe he's a random one-off Exalted. Maybe he never finds a home.
Maybe he does.
We have lots of them.
Maybe this poor little Yeti guy never finds a home, and that's kind of sad. Which almost makes me not want to put him there. But you know what? I think without my sympathy, I think he can be clunky. Like, I know he has Swift, so he's not ever stuck in your hand. Does he have Swift? Correct?
Yeah, he has Swift. He has Swift, Insatiable, and Devour.
Like, it's not bad, and he does synergize with some things. Like, Mystic Fire does have like some sacrifice stuff, but you don't really want him in Mystic Fire. You want tokens, right? And like, I think he's kind of like a nothing burger. Like, he does something occasionally, but 9 times out of 10, like, he's just kind of awkward.
Okay, and now give me your 3rd best.
My 3rd best.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like kind of putting you on the spot here.
There's so many good ones. Because it's an S tier deck, I'm going to start with Phoebe.
Ooh, okay.
So having not necessarily an Omni negate. For any of those not knowing, it's just like an encapsulating, turns off anything. That's Cinnabar.
Reckoning turns off any...
like any activation of a card. Like
Reckoning, I think, is specifically negates Unified.
it doesn't negate Unified. So it's not like amazing in that sense because it's only actually I think it mirrors the primordial Reckoning. I think it stops at Fortified.
Oh, it might, yeah, actually.
But you eradicate 2 from hand, which is not always
It's 3.
Eradicate 3 from hand, which honestly it might sound bad, but guess what? With a new suite of Rift Warriors we just received.
Yeah, and also just general good primordial eradication effects. And she is an archetypal primordial warrior.
You can search her, and she can revive her off of other Reckoning.
Off of Reckoning,
so
yeah.
Primordial Reckoning can Reckoning out your Reckoning Warrior.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see how many times I can say Reckoning. But anyways, yeah, so she's archetypal. She draws a card and heals, I believe. I think she has Recovery on her.
I know she has Wisdom, Recover,
and Reckoning.
6, I believe.
It's something silly. She actually heals a decent amount that you don't already heal a gazillion Titans.
Yeah, no, she's very good. And she's a 3 attack. Like, that's definitely relevant.
Well, not being able to be shockwaves, you can insulate your creation's power. Because like now that you were demanding someone to have a tremor at instant speed, you can't get instant speed off Gone But Not Forgotten. You might be able to revive like a Yeti. Yeah. But guess what? I just Reckoning your your Gone But Not Forgotten.
She's very good.
No, she's so good. So going back to, I guess, another bad one.
Yeah, your second worst.
I'm trying to remember what the two... I feel like both the Angel ones I was kind of haters on. Like,
so the Angel ones is Leona, the Purifying Power of the Empyrean. It's a Castiel locked warrior. And this other one is Ascendant Ranks of the Chaos Divine, and I don't even know what that card does.
I'm gonna say it's probably Ascendant because honestly, I remember reading this card and like it read similarly to like a Renown. Like it just doesn't.
Well, it does funny things with Ascendants, which is kind of being built out more. It's not going to see play right now, likely. Also, turns out maybe if we can't remember what the card does, it's not great.
I mean, yeah, like if it was good, I would have remembered it. Not saying. I mean, there's probably people that will say, "Oh, Jack, this is a really good card." Well, if I didn't see anyone play it and I haven't heard of it, in my head it's probably bad. Like I play a bit of Angels. I'm not going to say I don't. Like I get around to some yellow cards here and there.
Yeah, you played Michael at a Siege before.
Yeah, I have. I didn't do great, being that I kind of punted a few games, but that's okay. But to say like Ascendants, like it feels like a niche sub-archetype within the Chaos Divine and Lost Messiah, and it's already kind of tight-knit and like well constructed. So like, why would you want to splash this niche sub one unless you're just doing it for giggles and shit?
Yeah, right? For sure. Fun card, likely. Competitively good card, likely not.
Oh yeah, like it definitely looks like a fun card.
Not every card can be that 10 out of 10 banger, right?
Oh yeah, and everything can't be Welcome to the Grim Graveyard, which maybe it will never get unbanned.
Sure won't be.
It will never. I'm a believer. It won't ever happen, but in my heart.
Okay, second best.
Second best. Now this one, I think is going to be a bit of a hot take, and I don't think everyone will agree with me here. I think the new Siren Exalted.
Oh, okay.
So hear me out. All the Siren Warriors we got are super interactive.
Yeah.
This also is a board wipe, right? Like it puts everything back into deck. Into some like legions that don't have that way of.
Very good into Angels and Undead. Notably, two archetypes that Mythical Beasts tend to struggle with.
Exactly. So it's something you struggle against. It's like a one-off slash you can throw in. It does refill your hand too. Like for every 2 shuffle back you draw. And
notably, both players draw.
Both players do draw, so it is symmetrical. But like, if you're a theory on this Jan Marin thing, if you are playing this card, I've heard some murmurings of people running Dark Portal. So like, in theory, that might not be necessarily a detriment.
Yeah, true.
Right, and if you are running this Dark Portal, this like force draw 5, depending on board state, might be like, hey,
under 1 Dark Portal at least, that's 15 life.
And guess what? They might not even get to keep the cards because the hand size limits. So I think it's pretty solid in making all Siren damage effects unpreventable.
Yeah.
Giving things snapshot.
Good.
I'm a steadfast believer too. I'm a steadfast enjoyer. So giving like every couple turns, going 3 snapshots, dealing 15 damage, and then not assuming any of the keywords on my Siren Warriors, which like there's dive, there's turn off everything in the bin.
Yep.
I don't know.
You have wreck, which is also effect damage, by the way.
Wreck is effect damage and can't be stopped.
Yep.
I think Sirens, like they're missing a couple pieces,
For sure.
like compared to the other 2 I put at the bottom of my list. This one at least can be like it can be played, and honestly I think it fills a really niche service to a deck, to any Mythical Beast deck, because
I can't really do that thing.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of them are missing this ability, and honestly, I think any Mythical Beast deck can justify X amount of Siren Splash, just because, like, if I play 1 Bell and 3 of the Plunders, in a world where, like, my opponent goes and, like, hey, I flip this up, if you play 3 dudes, I get 3 cards.
Yep. And you get to thin your deck out by 6.
Yeah, and, like, honestly, a 4-card commitment to I draw that many cards, like, you know what, not bad. For no life, I'll draw 3 cards for no life.
Yeah,
I do it all the time in Mortals.
Okay, so
what's
the worst?
It's Hope for a New Day. It's the demon one. It's the Frozen Heart.
Yeah, I don't think any of us can actually argue with that.
It is. You're doing everything Hope for a New Day did, but worse. I'm going to always call it Hope for a New Day with, like, there's extra. Sure, there's other words on that card. Like, yeah, you can selectively discard, but, like, the effect is so negligible, like the damage reduction.
If that card reduced battle damage too, that'd be real good.
I would agree. It would definitely not be the worst, but it also is locked to Ono, so you can, like, use it maybe in other warlords or future ones that might want to abuse it. And it doesn't refill your hand until the end of the turn. So you're going down cards that could be interactive cards, like your Swift Warriors, things you're using to discard for, like, your Fear to Fallen. You just, hey, opponent, you know what? Just for you, I'm going to get rid of my hand. And just because. Like, at that point, it's like a win more card. Like, you didn't need this card.
I think that card is very specifically good into one deck, and that deck is Castile.
And at that point, just play an Arius, or I don't know, like, resolve a Mayoral the turn before because you drew a gazillion
But
cards.
also, like, I don't think that deck had problems with Castile before.
No, I don't think so either. And, like, what are you going to do? Like, if I discard my entire hand, I'm only preventing 8 of the damage, let's say. Like,
no, so it says anything more than the cards in your hand is prevented. So if I have 2 cards in hand, if you do 3 effect damage or more, it gets prevented.
Like,
it's weird. It's worded weirdly.
So it's like opposite Ensnaring Bridge, kind of?
Sure.
Because, like, for those who aren't knowers, Ensnaring Bridge was a card that said your opponents can't attack you with... for the purposes of Elrod, it can attack you with warriors that are more than the number of cards in hand.
Yeah.
So it's just an effect damage Ensnaring Bridge.
Yes, exactly.
That only happens once.
Yep. That's not very good.
No, it's not very good. If this was a static card, like an act card, you know what? Cheerios. This card could be played. It's just not playable in my opinion. Like,
it's pretty bad.
You're gonna be this is your sideboard card into Castile.
Yeah.
Which you might not even, because you can only play 1 of, so you might as well play 2 Mayoral, right? I don't know.
Okay, so what do you think the best card is?
Well, okay, hear me out. So if I'm not being objective, I'm going to say Peaks.
Okay.
Me being objective, like what I think the best Exalted is, and what I think is going to see the most play, I think right now, because the Wintertide, like the Loyalty Warriors do count, correct? No, they weren't in.
They weren't in it.
They weren't in it. The hero ones with Stormheld, I don't think that was that great. And
Thunderfex.
Who, sorry?
The Warrior.
The Warrior seems like okay.
He's good.
The Armory is not like that crazy.
No,
like
Armory is the future drop from Macabre.
Yeah, from Macabre.
It's Hammerhorn and Blood Jealous.
Yeah, which like both are okay. Like they're fun, but like I don't think they're they're gonna be like top 4 with those cards. I think like potentially like Toy Box Town seems really annoying, but I don't think it's like crazy. Like giving access to a Legion that can consistently see like these Exalted Fortifieds and like now having a way to insulate through. Sure. But again, like I think that's a part of like my undead bias, like thinking it's probably better. I actually don't think that card's that amazing. I feel like this is another Legion. Actually, you know what? I got it for you. Here's a fastball for you, buddy. The Ruin one, the Arcane Ruin. So, as we were discussing earlier today, that card is not restricted by what it discounts by.
No, it's not.
So we just banned Lotus.
Yep.
Because that card was really strong. So now Arcane gets an archetypal.
To be fair, there's a lot more steps involved.
Yeah, a little bit more steps. But this Legion also, and that archetype, is all about stacking the deck. And in 2 different archetypes, Arcane and stacking the deck, but Frozen, putting cards on the top of your deck to discard. There's a lot of ways to thin your deck and then convert, to follow up, stack the deck to have the optimal thing. Like if you're doing an Arcane and Frozen thing mixed together, you can get your like Frozen Knight, go get your 2 guys for free because normally it's a pretty high costed card. You can get your Ophidian Eye,
Destiny Dust,
or Ophidian Eye. And also that means every other card you're playing now in that deck, like high costed, you can be so greedy. Like it is reminding me of like an Indomitable creativity style thing where like I'm gonna play slow, I'm gonna interact with you, I'm gonna draw some cards. Oh, cool! I see. Read the Arcane Runes, stack that cool card on top of my deck, resolve cool card, likely win the game, or just have such a power swing that like.
Now, notably also the Arcane Mask.
Enigma.
Do you know what it does off the top of your head?
I know good. I just also know if I say Enigma to my opponent, they like explode, don't they?
I think it's either when it enters or by battle. I think it might be by battle.
I think it's something to do with drawing cards and buffing the board too, didn't it?
No, so you draw a card and then you put a card from your hand on top of your deck.
Oh,
so that deck stacking, it's kind of whatever I want it to be.
Oh no, I drew the card I wanted to put on top of my deck. How will it get there?
Yeah.
Don't mind me, opponent. I'm just gonna put this on top of my deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and then like in the Legion 2 that has like it doesn't have negate for cost anymore, but you still have like things like Nisty, like you
still have a lot of negates.
and like now you have archetypal Aurora, right? So like, not that it's gonna help you, but in theory you can, you know, you're gonna see what your opponent draws for interaction, so you know what you're fighting into.
Yeah.
Right. Like so, I think it's kind of hard, but like as I said, being objective, it's probably reading Arcane because I think that just has. It's such a top end ceiling, and like, from a face value, it's just generically good, right? Yeah. It gets blown up, put it 5th on top, you can just see it again.
Also draws a card.
Yeah.
I think the best is Krampus.
Now, are you saying that because you helped design the Wicked, or are you saying that because it recently did really well on the Siege?
It recently did really well. It also just kind of has everything I want on a warrior. Like he has generosity, I think, right?
I believe it's generosity. He has that the happenstance or whatever it says, or forecomings. I don't know.
The one that pings you whenever you draw a card.
Exactly, and then I think the Perish is like your opponent either discards 2 cards or you return Krampus to your hand.
So he's drawing cards. He's doing damage and he's recursing himself.
Like true, but it's also in an archetype that like I think outside of him, like it kind of reminds me of Mask in a sense. Like does Force Draw, like Wicked, do really anything outside of Krampus?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I guess like the taxing on the Bloodborne for like keywords, but like how many keywords have like Bloodborne that every deck's running?
It adds Bloodborne to the keywords.
Oh, it adds Bloodborne to the keywords. Ooh, like it doesn't have like a way to. I guess you're probably playing this in like a Fallen package. Like
probably.
Like it's kind of hard to.
But also like you have a common warrior that you run at 3 with generosity that makes your opponents draw 2 cards. Dark Portal's really good.
Dank Portal is good.
Like the deck just does a lot of things and it can be really taxing.
It can be. Like I remember discussing with the player AJ when he was running a list with a lot of that engine into it, and like it was saying that like sometimes it can be really easily hated on. Like Eon,
it definitely can be.
Eon is like a house. Like being able to go name generosity, cool. Your deck doesn't make me force draw anymore.
100%.
And then like, how do you do that on your opponent's turn? You don't really revive things on your opponent's turn, like unless you're on Gone Not Forgotten. But like, that's kind of awkward.
No, the deck definitely has some counters, but I think it's really fun and will be really good one day.
Like I think it reminds me kind of like a drama like those unprepared for it. Will get hosed.
Definitely.
And like as you were saying, like it until it gets more support, like it will still do things. And like it will likely get more because if it got released with a pretty sizable amount of support, it likely is getting more soon.
Yeah.
I would just be speculative right now, just saying it like is the best. Like I'm thinking of like
I think he's the best.
The way I look at it when I'm saying like the best and worst is like what is the most playable right now and what will have the most impact in like the most recent couple sieges that are to come.
That's fair.
Because like you definitely, I won't disagree. Like if you said name top 4, I would say Krampus as the 4th.
That's fair.
But like, reading Arcane Runes, I think is really gonna like open up some like wheelhouse for like dwarf players to do something crazy. Now, in all fairness, there isn't like a lot of arcane cards, but I think there's enough for
just
people
do the thing.
to really toy with it. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like. But no, I love ethereals. I'm an ethereal joyer. I will say Peaks is my favorite.
That's fair.
Not the best.
That's fair.
I love my little Titan boys, my little birds. Not being able, honestly, so many times I've like gone into like other like S tier matchups like Fandos or into Primordials, for example, and I had this thing face up, even into Michael. How do you get rid of Peaks? Tell me.
You don't.
You don't. you don't. It stays,
Yeah.
and it just keeps staying.
Yeah.
They're only like sure I can smite it. Cool. I have retrieve warriors.
Yeah.
And my dudes are so huge, and
Yeah,
I'm healing 8.
Yeah, it just does a lot.
It does just sit there, and then guess what? This is all the ethereal stuff is before we even got the left side. So like, imagine we get more. We have all 3 exalted. So assuming each archetype gets 3 exalted and X number of renowns, we're still missing a couple renowns.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'd imagine we'll see more ethereal exalted at some point too, especially
like down the line, yeah.
well, especially like there are decks that have more than 3 exalteds already.
Is there? I
think
think off
so.
the top of my head, I can't recall one. Because the hero and demon ones are kind of hard to count because like a lot of them are like not archetypal, like they're just generic ones.
I guess Sharn only has 3 too. So does
yeah,
Ducksox.
yeah. I think a lot of them only have
Right,
like
only
the top end of like
3.
A lot of them only really have 3 right now. Like of course they'll likely get more.
Yeah, well we know Sharn only has 3 of her 5 disciples.
Well, yeah,
oh
'cause-
no, Sharn has 4 because the Viseria warrior. That's a 4th exalted for Sharn. The card is very clearly designed for Sharn.
It is designed for Sharn, and I guess that did just recently come out.
Yeah.
Which also then I guess applies to Michael because of the.
Alexandria, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's only his 3rd though.
Well, Final Stand.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess-
Final Wrath, Capsule,
Yeah.
and her.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess the other ones are just generic ones you play, like they're light cards or
Yeah.
things like that. So that's not necessarily his archetype, at least
Yeah.
from what we've seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those would be my picks. I think. Yeah.
Anyway, we are just about at our time limit here for this episode. Once again, I have been Sylas from Team Shockwave.
I
and
have
you-
been Sylas. I am Sylas. I am Jackson.
Jackson from Team Shockwave. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Tell us how we're doing.
Yeah, if there's anything you also want us to like talk about,
Any
please
future
comment
topics,
it.
please comment and let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're taking guest appearances quite yet, but like maybe if
We will be soon.
Yeah, if we really like the things you're suggesting, maybe we'll just get you on like for an episode or something.
Yeah, we do have a few guests planned for some upcoming episodes actually.
Yeah,
So that'll be exciting to look forward to.
it won't just be us.
And I believe our next episode will be after the Pleb tournament.
After the Alehouse Anarchy,
Yeah,
and hopefully an Alehouse deck wins it. I feel like it's only fair, right?
if there is one.
If there is one. I think what we talked about earlier, there isn't going to be one.
Yeah.
But there's never not 0%. Never not 0%.
Fair.
Not 0%.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, we're signing off. Thanks.
Sayonara. Okay, I'm not gonna. That can get cut.